Okej. Plan B. Idziemy do Niko.
Hi.
Oh,
Bo skoro nie pojawiła się możliwość rozwinięcia dalej wątku, to znaczy, że coś przegapiliśmy.
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
what is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
Wrażliwa Niko.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Coś w tym jest.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
Chociaż... Dobra. Ludzie, no...
Okay, I'll see you later.
Przepraszam, że zapomniałem o tym za pierwszym razem. Wychodzi na to, że potrzebne jest nam to zdjęcie. Teraz będziemy mogli je pokazać sprzedawcy i sprawdzić, czy to właśnie ten koleś wypożyczył kostium klauna.
Oui, monsieur.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose two costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Okej.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur.
To teraz spróbujmy zadzwonić. Nie wiem, czemu korzystam z telefonu tutaj, a nie w apartamencie Niko. No ale tam nie działa.
Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick? Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
No, czyli mamy trop. Wiemy, gdzie zatrzymał się nasz Khan. Tak więc do hotelu. No i mamy... Są gangsterzy? No tak wyglądają. No to dzień dobry.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Oni wyglądają trochę podejrzanie, ja nie chcę z nimi gadać o nim, ani o tym, ani o niczym, szczerze mówiąc.
Shake my hand. Oh, rats.
Tłat.
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
What? Jakieś dziwne oni dźwięki wydają. Dobra, no to na górę.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked.
Czyli zamknięte. Trochę mnie zastanawia, że z tamtymi drzwiami nic nie możemy zrobić, to może spróbujmy z tymi.
The door was locked.
No niestety. To... Tak.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym.
Dobra.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
No tak, ale nie wiem do czego to kluczyk. No nic.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Gówniarz.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Okay.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
I already did.
Hello, you know I am telling the truth. May Saint Armand strike me down if I lie.
No, jak cię trzaśnie, to zobaczysz.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
No dobra. No chyba musimy z nim pogadać, no co się będziemy...
Do you know a man named Plantow?
No, monsieur.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
A, cię zagiął, Georgie? Dobra. On nic więcej nam chyba nie powie. Może profesor?
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective.
No cóż.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Okay.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Czyli on nam nie pomoże.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have.
Dobra. No nie ma sensu chyba gadać z nim o kluczu do studzienek.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. You shall die. Okej. Cześć, babciu.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Ja nie widzę takiego angielskiego, naprawdę. Znaczy, nie wiem, po prostu jest sporo słów, których nie rozumiem. Generalnie kontekst wypowiedzi łapię i to, co chcą mi przekazać, ale robią to często w taki sposób, że no, ciężko wyłowić wszelkie szczegóły. No i źle się ich słucha. No ale dobra, musimy z nim pogadać.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest.
No okej.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. You know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
No dobra, czyli ona może nam pomóc przy skrzynieniu go. Póki co daruję sobie te tematy i sprawdzę, czy w rejestrze jest osoba, która nazywa się Merlin. Tup. No niestety, nie jestem pewien, Syberia chyba była jedną z pierwszych przygodówek, która zaimplementowała bieganie po dwukrotnym kliknięciu.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
O,
What now, monsieur?
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well, not exactly, but I can explain everything.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
no czyli niestety nie możemy nic zrobić, ale tutaj myślę, że może wkroczyć nasza panna.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Możesz mi pomóc?
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
No cóż.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not, he was my husband.
Jaka ona słodka. No kurde, Musimy coś wymyśleć, żeby... żeśmy mogli dorwać się do klucza. To będzie albo do pokoju 22, albo do pokoju obok.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George!
Hello! Dobra, przeskoczmy
Did I
jeszcze.
show you this photograph?
Yes.
Okej.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him.
No dobra, no to możesz nam pomóc?
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hempstead. That was until last night.
No przyznajcie, że jest denerwująca. Dobra, kobieta, ja chcę, żebyś mi pomogła.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Sturbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Wow.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
No tak. Tego się domyśliłem.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
No, dowiedzieliśmy się dużo.
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady.
No, ja bym chętnie jej tu kopnął jakimś elektroszokiem. Okej, może poszukajmy. No, czyli ona szuka zemsty.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George!
Czyż nie? To znaczy, że ona będzie babką, która powinna nam pomóc, tak sobie myślę.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
Czego?
You are trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
No dobra. Pani kobieto. Pani mi musi pomóc dorwać ten klucz. Bite szum.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George! What can I do for you now?
Did I show you...
Yes,
Does this tissue mean anything?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that'll...
No dobra.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check, nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Oj, jak miło, że nas puściłeś. Okej. To mi się wydaje, że ja już to zrobiłem. Ale dobrze. Patrz, George, drzwi.
The sign on the door read 21. The sign on the door read 22.
I jeszcze spróbuj raz je otworzyć.
The door was locked.
Tak. Dobra, człowieku.
What now, monsieur?
I've just been manhandled by a gorilla.
Yes? I do not see any signs of a gorilla.
No, not a real gorilla. It was a guy who looked like a gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this quite clear. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Dobra. Wow, ale mamy tematów. No dobra.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
W takim razie poproszę.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Słodkie. Dutch. Dobra. Masz ostatnią szansę, kobieta.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Nie widzę twojego głosu.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Chętnie to zobaczę.
I say! You there! Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Dobra. To pozwólcie mi wziąć klucz.
Over to you, my dear.
Szybko. Wiać. Okej.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
I na tym szokującym widoku zakończę dzisiejszy odcinek. Pamiętajcie, jeżeli coś wam się podobało bądź nie, to będę wdzięczny, jeżeli zostawicie komentarz. No i zjedźcie ogór. Cześć!